Now you see me, now you don't. You think you will, but I know you won't.
I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see.
"1996, the world's greatest sporting festival, unfolds in Atlanta, Georgia. At the Centennial Olympics across the globe, 3.5 billion eyes are glued to their screens.
Here in Atlanta, the crowd is absolutely ecstatic.
For the next 26 years, no Olympic viewership record would surpass this, and his hands tremble, not from weakness, but from decades of battles fought in and out of the ring. Parkinson's disease has slowed him, but the world watches as history and legend converge in that single flame. Yet, just 30 years ago, this same man was not America's hero, he was its threat. A black boxer barred from matches, labeled a traitor by some, a danger to a system steeped in racial and political hierarchy. In the 1960s, Muhammad Ali, then Cassius Clay, challenged not just opponents but the very identity of the United States. Born Cassius Marcellus Clay Jr. in 1942 in segregated Louisville in Kentucky, Ali's early life was shaped by Jim Crow. Segregation wasn't just a law, it was invisible architecture. Schools, buses, restaurants, even public spaces, all designed to humiliate and constrain black lives. At 12, his bicycle was stolen. Furious, he reported it to the officer Joe Martin, declaring, "I'm going to whoop him." Martin's response changed everything for him. He said, "If you want to fight, learn to box first." Boxing, therefore, did not just create Ali's voice. It amplified a survival strategy forged under racial oppression. Inside the ring, rules applied equally. For the first time, he could fight without fear of systemic restraint. Boxing then became not just an ambition, but containment, discipline, channeling defiance. Ali struggled academically. Dyslexia made school alienating, but he spoke differently. Even as a teenager, he crafted rhymes predicting his victories. Poetry and bravado were his armor, a preemptive strike against humiliation.
Now you see me, now you don't. You think you will, but I know you won't.
White sports writers, however, found him unbearable. He refused the humility expected of black athletes, taunted opponents with worse, and claimed beauty on his own terms.
I'm gonna float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see.
He called himself pretty, a word often reserved for women, learned from a flamboyant wrestler, Pretty George, who taught him performance as resistance.
"Look at my beautiful blonde hair. If he mess up this hair, I'll kill him. I'll annihilate the bum."
His charisma and audacity captured a generation of young black Americans. They saw in him not just a boxer, but a symbol of defiance, confidence, and possibility. In 1960, in Rome, Cassius Clay wins the Olympic gold in boxing.
Cassius Clay, the winner for the USA.
He walks American streets, medal around his neck, asking strangers, "Do you know who I am?" Not out of vanity, but disbelief. Back home, segregation endures. Restaurants refuse service, saying that we don't serve Negroes here. Ali responds, "I don't eat Negroes either, just bring me a hamburger." Excellence did not guarantee dignity. Recognition was conditional, and it was this injustice that radicalized him. 1964. The world watches Clay face Sonny Liston, a man feared inside and outside the ring. Clay's victory against Liston is more than a sport. It shatters accepted notions of black masculinity. But the transformation had already begun. Guided by Malcolm X and the teachings of Elijah Muhammad, Clay embraced the Nation of Islam. Publicly, he waited to win before announcing his conversion. Privately, he was already Cassius no more. When he revealed his new name, Muhammad Ali, he enacted a radical self-naming, a decisive break from imposed identity. Ali's relationship with the nation was complex. He eventually distanced himself from Malcolm X and later moved towards Sunni Islam, asserting religious autonomy while maintaining his faith and black dignity. 1967, the draft notice. Ali refuses. "I ain't got no quarrel with them Viet Cong," he declares. His stand links racial oppression at home to imperial violence abroad. He also clarified that his objection was rooted in his religion, saying that war is against the teachings of the Holy Quran. "We're not supposed to take part in wars unless declared by Allah or His Messenger," and that he could not be a part of killing innocent people in a war he did not believe in. The cost is immense. Stripped of his title, banned from boxing, convicted and exiled from sport during his prime. Yet, Ali frames this not as loss, but as liberation. He tours schools and universities, teaching students about racial injustice and faith. Billy Crystal, his close friend, later said, "At a time when Bobby Kennedy, Malcolm X, and Martin Luther King were gone, Ali stood for all of us."
As time went on, with Bobby Kennedy gone, Martin Luther King gone, Malcolm X gone, who was there to relate to when Vietnam exploded in our face? But it was Ali who stood up for us by standing up for himself.
1970, Atlanta. Ali returns to the ring after a 3.5-year ban. Victory over Jerry Quarry reignites his career. Then comes Joe Frazier, Ken Norton, and finally the Rumble in the Jungle against George Foreman in Zaire. Ali's genius is tactical. He lets Foreman tire himself, then delivers a crushing flurry in the 8th round. With chants of Ali Bomai, the fight becomes a post-colonial spectacle. Ali, a global icon of black dignity and resilience. He later also defeats Joe Frazier in Manila in the Thriller in Manila, cementing his status as the greatest, not simply for his boxing, but for defiance, courage, and principle. Even as he ages and battles Parkinson's, Ali remains a moral force. He witnesses the transformation of the Nation of Islam under Warisdeen Muhammad, who shifts the organization towards Sunni Islam and discards black supremacy rhetoric. Ali, in turn, softens his rigid approach to faith and identity, demonstrating adaptability and humility without compromising dignity. Ali's career was not merely a sport. It was a series of confrontations with systemic racism, with imperial power, with the expectations of black Americans themselves. His victories were athletic, yes, but also ethical, spiritual, and political. June 3, 2016, Muhammad Ali dies. The Olympic torch in 1996, the battles of Liston, Foreman, Frazier, they all converge into a single narrative. A man who made himself, not born great, who refused injustice, who reshaped the possibilities of black life in America. The world embraces Ali in death, yet often only after neutralizing the power of his descent. History remembers him as the greatest, but to understand his life fully, we must also remember the stolen bicycle, the denied hamburgers, the draft notice, the exiles, the flurries of fists, and the unyielding faith. Ali's life asks, what does greatness require? Talent? Yes, but also courage, conviction, the audacity to defy, to speak, and to resist, to fight. Sometimes against the state, sometimes against the very world that applauds you. Muhammad Ali once said, "I shook up the world," perhaps, but more than that, he shook the moral conscience of a nation, and in doing so, he became timeless.